This is the brightest 1-foot LED ever. I'm going to talk about the features of this light, but there's also a section in the video where I just show a bunch of tests, so if you want to just skip to that, you could just skip to that. Quick disclaimer, I was sent this light by Zhiyun for free so that I can review it, but it's not a paid sponsorship and they don't have any control over what I have to say, so these are all my true opinions about this light. So this is the Cinepeer C100. It's just a 1-foot tube light that is 100 watts. It's pretty rare for tube lights to have 100 watts of output power, let alone for a 1-foot tube lights. Usually they're built small and slim and are easily mountable, but those things come at the expense of light output. They went on a different route here. They went all out on the brightness, 100 watts, and they cared less about the slim design and the weight, because this is actually a pretty hefty light. It has pretty intuitive menus and dials, and it also works with the Zhiyun app that you can use to control their other lights too. No complaints from my end on that. It all works pretty well. Everything is pretty super explanatory about how to use it, so there's not much. There's mode, power, and you've got a few dials to go through the options and change whatever you need to change. It also comes with a lot of accessories. So as you can see here, I have diffusion on it, but when I take off this diffusion, you'll see that it comes with barn doors actually, which are removable, by the way. You can remove the barn doors from the light. And then once you remove the barn doors, you can instead put on the grid, which it comes with. So you've got different ways of controlling the spill of the light. And then on the back of the light, it comes with this little quick release gizmo where you just unclip it very quickly, and then you can add it back into place and clip it back. Lastly, you can power this light either by fast PD charging for the internal battery, or you could just use the cables that it comes with and you can hook it up right to a wall plug. The battery that it comes with is gonna last about an hour on full brightness. If you're using a fast USB-C cable, you'll be able to charge this light while it's on. All of these things come in this semi-hard case. One thing missing from this light that you can usually find in other tube lights is magnets. Because it's big and heavy, I'm assuming that's why they didn't go with it. But in other 1-foot tubes, like for example the Aperture MT, and then you can attach the light onto a fridge or like a light stand, and that's about it. It's just a 1-foot tube light that's super fucking bright. Here are some test shots I did with it. So I'm gonna try to test this light as a Keylight with different methods of diffusion. So right now I just have a few lamps turned on around the room. I am at f1.8 on the FX3. ISO 640, shutter speed is 148, and I've got 2.5 stops of ND applied, and this is what the shot looks like without any key lights. Now I'm gonna get the tube light and have the normal diffusion on it that it comes with and turn it on and see what that looks like. So here's what the light looks like with the diffusion that it comes with, and I have it about 3 to 5 feet away from me on an angle. As you can see, we've got some shadows that I think are a little bit too harsh for my taste. Now I'm gonna keep this light as is, and I'm gonna put in front of it a 5-in-1 diffuser. Here it is with a 5-in-1 reflector. Obviously, it's a lot softer, but it's also a lot dimmer because it's been double diffused. So now I'm gonna up the brightness to 100% to compensate for the change in exposure. And that's 100%. Personally, I think the built-in diffuser is great for if you wanna maybe bounce it off a wall and raise the overall ambience in a shot. But as a key light on its own, I don't think it's usable. It's a little bit too harsh on my face, and I would prefer to put further diffusion in front of it. Here's another scenario where I would use this light a lot, and that is bringing up the ambience, overall ambience of the room without making it look too sourcey. And what sourcey means is that I want to bring up the brightness of this place without making it look like it's coming from a specific direction or source. I don't want it to look like there is a light, oh, it looks like there's a light over there. I want it to make it look like the room is naturally just bright. And one of the best ways to do that is to point a light up at a ceiling or at a wall and just bounce a whole lot of light. And that's what I'm gonna do with this one. So I just have it pointed up right at the wall, and I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna try my best to match the temperature of this light to the temperature of all of these lamps, so that it looks like the ambience of the room is actually being powered by the lamps and not some external light source. And there you go. Now we have filled in a lot more of the shadows in this room. So, the couch underneath the table, maybe even underneath people's faces. And this is especially easy with this light because, first of all, it's small and lightweight compared to other fixtures, but also it's battery powered. So I'm not even bound by a big control box with V-mount batteries or a cable that's hooked up to DC. I can literally just carry this anywhere I want, say, oh, you know what? I want the light to be in this corner of the room. Well, there you go, place it here, raise it up, and now we've got a whole bunch of ambient light coming from that side of the room. All right, so I'm doing a quick bounce test, bouncing the light off of a ceiling. I'm doing a comparison actually. This is the Amaran 60X, and I'm just, I have it with the reflector that it comes with and the sheet of diffusion that it comes with, because this is usually how I would use it if I were bouncing light or using it as a backlight. So that is at 100%, 5,000 Kelvin. I'm gonna turn it off and turn on the Zhiyun. This is the Zhiyun, also at 100% at 5,000 Kelvin. So let me actually take off the diffusion and see what that looks like. And this is it without the diffusion. You can see that the barn doors do a lot of heavy work here in terms of where the light is spreading to. But yeah, there's your comparison. Also wanted to do a comparison of just splashing a bunch of color onto a background, and I wanted to see the brightness difference of the Zhiyun light with the Aperture MT Pro, because it's also a 1-foot tube light, and I just wanted to show you the brightness difference of traditional tube lights that are smaller and slimmer versus one like this where they just went all out with the output and didn't care too much about keeping the light small. So this is the red coming from the Zhiyun, and it's just at 100% perfect red at 100% saturation. This is what it looks like, and this is how bright it is. Now I'm going to turn it off and turn on the MT Pro for a comparison. And here's the MT Pro. A lot dimmer. If you have any questions, please let me know. Cheers.